and we believe outside the store as well. Angelique was saying that she talked with 2 Walmart employees and they know who the shooter is, and that the shooter is dead. We do not know any other information except that those Walmart employees told Angelique that they know who the shooter was. And this particular point, we'll just have to continue to work and wait to get more information on that.
And I'm looking back at the message that one of my friends, Terry, she said she had just left that Walmart less than 40 minutes before this happened and had gone to Dollar Tree next door, was driving home, literally had to pull over to let the first police car go by. And then in less than a minute, she said she counted 16 police cars, 2 fire trucks, and then said it built up to be about 40 police cars. So this is, again, it's a busy area. Even if you don't live in Chesapeake, it's right off of the highway there. You take the Battlefield exit, so it would make sense that people would come from other areas. So it's this time of the week, this time of the year.
This day, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and our crews are being kept a little bit of a distance from all of that. And in our live shots, you can see all of the emergency vehicles behind them. Sarah Hammond did report that she did see at least one state police car. There could be more than that there, and she didn't see any other emergency vehicles from any other jurisdictions, but that could be possible as well.
Right. We know Norfolk and Virginia Beach are not far from the city lines with Chesapeake. So we can only imagine if there's some mutual aid there tonight, even with the EMS crews. And Sarah, are you available for us to go back to you now? Do you have an update?
Absolutely, yes. And I do have a little bit of an update. We are hearing we should be getting an update from Chesapeake Police in about 20 minutes. And they have just tweeted, we've seen that they can confirm, like we know, an active shooter incident with fatalities at the Walmart on Sam's Circle. They say now the shooter is deceased, and they're saying the first responders here are well trained and prepared to respond. So please give them space to do so, which again brings us back to the reunification center at the Chesapeake Convention Center. So again, if you think someone you know, friend, family member was inside this Walmart when the shots started to ring out, do not come to this Walmart. Again, give the first responders space to do their job. They are still going inside. They're still scanning the area as of, our last update. So give them space to do so. So please, if you need to, go to that Chesapeake Convention Center as a reunification point. And we're again gonna let you guys kind of look behind us at just how big this scene still is. We keep seeing more vehicles coming into this area. It just keeps getting more and more crowded, it seems, every time I turn around. Again, we are so far back, I can't make out any other specific logos on the cars besides Chesapeake, fire, police, EMS. But they did say earlier there was a state trooper vehicle in here. So that does give me some indication that there are other agencies either here or on their way. I just can't see them from where we are. We're stationed at the Carl's Wash across the way, across Sam's Circle, where, the Walmart's pretty far behind us. But again, it's all blocked off. They're still investigating. Like I keep saying, give them space to do so for now.
Sarah, can you see any emergency vehicles, ambulances, for instance, speeding away from that scene? Or are you still too far to be able to pick that out?
I have not, since we've been here, I have not seen any speed out. But again, we got here right around, I would say, 11 o'clock. So they had a good 45 minutes between when that call initially came in to when we got here. So that might have happened with those initial injuries and fatalities that we learned about. That might have happened earlier before we got here. I do hear some more sirens actually now behind me coming. It sounds like on the interstate, likely coming to this area. Unclear, I can't see beyond the trees, but unclear what agency that might be.
Right. And just to put this in perspective geographically again, North Battlefield Boulevard, where this Walmart sits off of Sam's Circle, there's a fire department not far away on Battlefield. And if you go down further, Chesapeake General Hospital is there. Now, we're talking trauma if we're talking about gunshots, and we know Centera Norfolk General has the trauma center, but just to give you an idea of the distance, and even from there, that would be about a 15, 17-minute drive probably from Sam Circle to Centera Norfolk General Hospital.
And if Nightingale was used, we always almost hear them
We do.
flying over our station. We have not heard that at this particular point. That's just a little added.
And just to reiterate, Sarah, police have confirmed that the gunman is dead in this shooting here.
Yes, correct. In their latest tweet that came out just a few minutes ago, they say the shooter is deceased. Initially, they were saying they believed the shooter was deceased, and that last update said they believe it was just one shooter that was involved. But now in this tweet, they are confirming the shooter is deceased. So there is, I think it's safe to say, no ongoing threat to the community. That's what they indicated to us earlier. So it seems with this latest update, that is likely the case.
All right, and the police officer that you were talking to a little bit earlier, Sarah, said that the process now is to go through the store and assess the injured and account for all of those who have been killed. But there was a sense that they were also making sure that there was nothing else of danger in that store. We're going to bring Evan Stewart into the conversation because this is Evan is born and raised in Chesapeake and knows this area well.
Yeah, and Nicole and I, I still live close by, and Nicole, you
Been
do too.
neighbors,
Yes,
that's
we've been
right.
neighbors. And this is a very busy area. It's Volvo Parkway and Battlefield Boulevard, one of the busiest intersections in the city. And as you mentioned earlier, it's not too far from Chesapeake General Hospital, but there are a lot of stores there, a lot of restaurants. I don't know how many are open, past 10, 11 o'clock. There are probably a couple there in that strip mall that are close by. And again, this is a very, very busy area in the city of Chesapeake. Just on the other side, you have a big Kroger over there, or big shopping center over there, just across 64.
Do I need to
right there on
introduce that or
Battlefield
anything?
Boulevard. So again, a very, very busy area of the city, not far from Greenbrier. It's right there.
That's right. You
Just,
could cut over to get to Greenbrier, and the reunification center you see on the map. You could take either Battlefield, hop back on the highway, and then take the Greenbrier exit, or take Volvo, right? Is that what cuts over to get to that?
Yes, yeah, Volvo's
Yes.
the one that cuts through. You have
Yes.
the headquarters of Dollar
Dollar
Tree
Tree.
right there.
Dollar Tree, that's right.
And-
Volvo Penta, is that still over
Yeah,
there?
Volvo Penta is over there.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just a very, very busy area in the city of Chesapeake. You mentioned the fire department is right there by B.M. Williams Elementary
That's
School. You have a big fire station in Greenbrier that's over there as well. Not too far away, you just head up Volvo Parkway and cross Greenbrier, and there's another fire department there as well. So I'm sure the paramedics and the EMTs got there as quickly as they could as well.
And Chesapeake General Hospital is not far from there either on
Right.
Battlefield Boulevard.
And I did pull up
also.
the helipad just to check Nightingale is there.
Okay.
Still, so
Okay.
but we will keep an eye on that as well.
And we were just seeing that map there we've put up from time to time as we've been talking about the reunification center. That is the Chesapeake Conference Center, which is about 6-7 miles from the actual Walmart.
That's right. It's one exit away off of Interstate 64, right there on the other side of Greenbrier. And, I imagine there are probably a lot of maybe Oscar Smith students or Indian River students that, could work there. They probably, work there. And
again, the
Yeah.
stocking happens later at night.
that's
You
right.
know, when I would go shopping after work, which would be around 11 something, I would see the folks stocking the shelves there. So it's, who knows how many people could be in that store
Yeah.
at the time.
And it is just it is a very, very busy Walmart, all hours of the day and night.
We're going to bring Sarah Hammond back into the conversation. And Sarah, you have some new information for us.
Yeah, absolutely. About at 11:30 when we first arrived, we spoke to Officer Leo Kaczynski with the Chesapeake Police Department. Right now, we're going to take you guys to that full interview with all of the information we have at this point. But again, at that time, they said they believed the shooter is dead. We have now confirmed that the shooter is in fact dead. Take a listen.
It's very limited information at this point. So at 10:12 p.m., our emergency dispatch center received a call for a shooting that occurred here at the Walmart here on Sam Circle. I apologize.
No worries.
So we respond initially. We found, as soon as we get here, we find basic evidence that a shooting had occurred, what was actively going on. So we responded in an active shooter fashion. We're trained for that. It falls within our area of what we do. So we go inside, and long story short, over the course of the next 30, 45 minutes, we were able to find multiple fatalities and multiple injured parties. With the Chesapeake Fire Department, we were able to put rescue and tactical teams together to go inside to provide life-saving measures. And then through the course of the investigation, we believe it was a single shooter, and we believe that shooter is deceased at this time. Officers are still on scene right now, combing through the building just to be sure. But as of right now, we believe it's only one shooter, and we believe that one shooter is deceased right now. Like I said before, there's multiple fatalities and multiple injuries. So we're just a little over an hour into the incident, and unfortunately, it's very fluid right now. That's all I have at this time.
You want to say if the shooter is self-inflicted?
We do not know at this time.
It's a shooter and employee.
We do not know at this time.
Were any shots fired by police?
Not to my knowledge. I do not believe so.
So when you guys got here, was it pretty much, over, I guess?
I do not know. I don't
Okay.
know the timeline just yet. I kind of got here quite a bit after the fact that it happened. I believe that the shooting had stopped when we arrived, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So we did treat it as an active threat response, which is within our normal response tactics.
Was it just Chesapeake Police that responded, or did you have help from other agencies?
Initially, it was just Chesapeake Police, but I believe I saw a state trooper vehicle outside earlier that's providing some assistance.
And you probably can't answer this, but when you say multiple fatalities, over 5, any age range? Not age range.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think right now it's less than 10. I think that's a pretty accurate right now.
Did the shootings happen inside the store or outside, or do we know?
I believe it happened inside.
Inside, any employees involved? I think we may have already asked that.
I do not know.
But there is at least one deceased outside the building, correct?
Correct. There is one person that's deceased outside right now.
But the shootings happened at least inside, perhaps outside as well.
Could be. I'm not 100% sure.
Got
It's
it.
still
Okay.
very
What's
new.
your next steps?
Right now, it's an open crime scene. It's an active investigation. We have officers inside, detectives responding. We're still coming through the building to look for more victims, both injured or deceased. And, we're just kind of providing that care at this point before we turn it completely over to the criminal investigation section. At that point, it becomes just a full-fledged, essentially a homicide investigation.
Are you actively looking for anybody right now?
We are still looking for people.
As far
But
as
we're- right now,
somebody,
We don't believe we believe there was only one shooter. So we're not really looking for another shooter, but we're prepared if there is
That's
a
what I
second
was
shooter.
asking, yeah.
That's basically what it is. But we're also looking for more victims because people could they could be scared, they could be hiding, they could be injured. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Can you tell us about the initial response, the initial 911 calls? Were they calls of a shooting or injured person? How did that?
Initially, it came in as a call of a shooting. I don't know how many calls came in. I just looked it up on my computer system, which is what kind of our we call it CAD, computer aided dispatch. That's where I got the information was from on there. And the initial call came in, I believe it was around 10-12 p.m.
Are you confident that you've located all the victims?
Not yet. We're still looking.
still looking for victims.
But you got to remember,
you're
too,
not
this is
you're not necessarily looking for any kind of additional shooter.
correct. This is a very large store. It's a super center. I mean, a lot of area, a lot of hiding spots. I don't know how many people were here. So, when the guy comes in, shots ring out, people could get scared. They could be hiding. We want to make sure everybody's accounted for. We want to make sure there's nobody injured that needs medical assistance, that's either conscious or unconscious, that needs help. We're trying to, basically we're trying to make the building safe and locate all victims. Is kind of where we're at this point.
As far as-
Sorry, this might not be a question you can answer either, but do you guys know yet if the shooter came in with the intent of doing this, or did something happen inside
Don't
the
know.
store to?
We're not sure.
as far as you know, there was only one shooter. Is that correct?
Right now, we believe it's only been one shooter. Yes.
Did the shooting happen during store hours?
Say again.
Did the shooting happen during store hours?
I believe the building's open 24/7.
It is okay.
I believe it is. Say, man.
Was the shooter employed by Walmart?
I don't know. Not sure. That's part of the investigation. I don't have an exact number right now. We have multiple fatalities and multiple injuries. I don't know. I was telling them I think it's probably less than 10 fatalities right now, but I don't have a hard number. That could change.
Sorry, fatalities.
Yeah, correct, fatalities. I
And
believe there's
and
several
there are
fatalities
people-
and several injuries.
How many
So what
were
is it?
shot total, including fatalities?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Don't know.
So I want to ask, we've seen a lot of people leaving the parking lot, probably shoppers. Are there exit interviews? Are you canvassing the people who were here? I see a lot of people leaving.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been over here with you guys. I don't really know what's going on there. There's dozens and dozens of officers over there handling that aspect. I really don't know. I can't say right now. Family Reunification Center is at the Chesapeake Conference Center. I don't have the address for that right now. If you guys, I believe it's Conference Center Drive. I don't know the exact numeric. I would say if you guys could put out to the public to stay clear of the area right now. Obviously, the store's closed right now while we conduct our police investigation. And like I said, the Family Reunification Center for anybody that thinks that they might have had a loved one that shopped here or hold on, Steve, will you call dispatch and just ensure them that if anybody calls in, they give them my work number, not my personal cell number, please? Sorry about that. My phones are okay.
So that's a place where family members
yes,
can go?
If you believe your family member was here, go to the Chesapeake Conference Center. That's where we're the Family Reunification.
Got it.
So again, like you just heard, that full interview of all the details we know right now. Again, do not come to this Walmart. If you think you have a loved one here, go to the Chesapeake Conference Center. That's the Family Reunification Center. And we are just told we're about to move across this retention pond, across this fence. So we're going to head that way. We should be able to get a better view and understanding of what agencies are here once we move closer. So of course we will keep you guys updated once we move and kind of get resituated and get our bearings over there when we can see more.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Just to quickly put this in a little bit of perspective, that interview that you just watched was from about an hour ago. We have been talking about an update from police within maybe 15 minutes or so. That was not it. That was from an hour ago. So that's what we knew an hour ago, and it's very much all that we know at this particular point. But we still are standing by, and stay with us as we wait for that update now, probably in about 15 minutes, although that could shift a little bit.
That's right. And you saw Leo Kaczynski there. He's the Chesapeake Police spokesperson. His phone was ringing throughout that interview, people trying to inquire and get information. And we are working to learn the latest out there in the field at the scene, but also here in our newsroom. We have folks are coming back into work to help us get details on this shooting. But again, we can reiterate what we know, that this is the Walmart Supercenter on Sam's Circle off of Battlefield Boulevard, North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. The call for the shooting came in just after 10 p.m. Multiple people are dead. Others are injured. Chesapeake police confirmed that the alleged shooter, is dead also.
Yes, and again, you heard the officer there say that the shooting took place, or at least most of it inside, and that at that particular point, again, that was an hour ago, they were going through the store to see if people may have heard the shots and hidden somewhere in the store. So they were still in the process of doing that an hour ago, and we don't exactly know where that is right now, that process, but we expect, again, that update to come soon.
That store is so big, and as he said, it's a super center, so you really could find different places you can go. And sadly, I know what that's like to be inside a shopping area when gunfire breaks out. I was inside MacArthur Center during one of those shootings and ran into a dressing room at one of the stores on the second floor there. And you just, the feeling that comes over you, you don't know what to do, but you hear that gunfire and it's like, you don't know how close it is to you, where it is. And you would think a store like that, you just want to shield yourself. And I think Angelique said she spoke to someone who said they were in the bathroom there at the superstore.
Right. And also the day that this is in relation to shopping for Thanksgiving and having people over or going someplace and buying food would have perhaps made that an even busier store tonight than on another night. But again, you say it's very, very large, so it might have a lot of people at 10, 12 on just an ordinary night.
Yeah, let's go back to Angelique. We mentioned that she did speak to some folks as they were leaving, employees of the store. Angelique, can you give us an update now?
Nicole, David, not too many updates on my end because the scene out here is clearing out. I think people are starting to get that memo about the reunification center at Chesapeake Conference Center, less than 10 minutes away from where we are standing. So in relation to Sarah, I am closer to Battlefield Boulevard. So I'm still seeing the heavy police and fire presence, EMS presence out here. But you all referenced earlier, I spoke with a couple Walmart employees off camera, I would say about 20 to 30 minutes ago. They were trying to just drive out of here, make it home. I spoke with a couple of them inside the car, and they tell me they were inside the store at the time someone opened fire inside the store. Again, I don't know where in the store that happened, but when you talk about active shooter response with that run, hide, fight, what the employees told me they did is all they could do at that point was hide. So they hid in the bathroom and they heard those gunshots ring out until it was clear for them to come out. A Chesapeake police officer ushered them over here to the Chick-fil-A parking lot. They got in a car and they left. So they only briefly spoke with me. I could tell they were nervous, they were sad, and they told me that they knew the shooter very, very well, and that was all. According to police, they say that the sole suspected shooter in this case is dead, and the employees I spoke with also tell me that they believe they know some of the people who are among the multiple fatalities in this shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, Angelique, thank you so much. Great job out there. Keep us updated with anything else that you may learn.
And I mentioned earlier in our coverage that I had gotten a text about someone that I know who was in that area at the time. It is Terry Brown, and she is joining us now on the phone. Terry, I understand that you're very shaken. I can't imagine what you're feeling, but if you're able to describe what happened when you were there at the shopping center on Sam Circle in Chesapeake for us.
This is, without question, the first time I can say that I've ever understood what anyone has said when they say a crime happens in your backyard. I was driving, actually, I had just left at Walmart and gone to the Dollar Tree beside it and come down the road and went to Food Line. I'm coming back and I'm way down Battlefield, but through my rearview mirror, I can see a police car coming. So my natural instinct was to pull over, and I'm pretty sure it was most likely the first car to get to that Walmart, because I was literally at the light where you were going to that Walmart. And the car came by so fast, my car shook. And my car is pretty heavy, but it literally shook. And within seconds, police were coming from everywhere. And I literally sat there and I was counting the police cars. And at the count, before the light could turn green, it was 13 police cars and I could see a fire truck coming. I got home because I lived less than 2 minutes from that Walmart, and I could just hear police cars just coming and coming and coming and coming. And there are no words. There are just no words. To see this unfold, to be a part of it, and to know that this crime occurred so close to me, and I was literally in that store, is terrifying.
Terry, it's David Allen, and first let me say thank you for helping us tell this story, and I know it's difficult. When you were in the store, was it crowded?
It was extremely crowded. All of the checkouts were extremely busy. They had most registers open. There are long lines at the self-checkouts. They had people at the front doors. There usually is 1 or 2 greeters. Tonight I saw probably around 4. A lot of people in the store. I literally parked way down the parking lot because you could not find spaces.
And Terry, you mentioned you live not far from there. We have folks here working at the station who don't live far, and we are trying to, set the scene and the geography for people who are not familiar with that part of Chesapeake. Tell me, when you saw all the police cars coming, was there a lot of traffic there on Battlefield Boulevard? It is a busy street, I think, pretty much at any time.
It is a busy street, but I think by the time that the first car came past me, it was like, truthfully, if I don't say anything about Chesapeake police, I will say tonight they were on it. And I don't know what they do the rest of the time, but they were on the scene. Those police cars came so fast. I mean, literally within a minute, I was counting 13 fire trucks. I mean, they were coming from all areas. There was no traffic moving because so many police cars were coming so quickly.
And how would you describe the area since you live nearby? A great mixed use of stores, gas stations, restaurants, apartments, houses.
Yes, yes. There's a Walmart. There's Dollar Tree there. There's the Home Store. There's a Fridays there on the corner. There's a little Shell station. It's a very busy area. And truthfully, tonight, there was not a lot of traffic on the main road of Battlefield because all the traffic literally was in the Walmart parking lot.
So Terry, when you were in the store, everything seemed normal?
Just sure, people walking on top of each other, but it wasn't, it didn't feel like a hostile environment. People were being very friendly, talking about Thanksgiving, what they had to do, what they had to, get and so forth. There was no hostility. It was very calm, despite the fact there was a very, very large amount of people in that store.
What time was it about when you were there?
I would say when I left there, it was about I would say somewhere near 20 to 9, because Dollar Tree closes at 9, and I wanted to run over there and get something. So I would say, yeah, it's about 8:30, 8:40.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally just missed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you say really, there are no words that you don't expect to be a part of this, but sadly, we are all becoming a part of this. As I mentioned, we've had these mass shootings, most recently in Colorado Springs, but we were just reporting on the University of Virginia, the shooting on campus grounds there on the bus, the charter bus.
Yeah, coming back from the
yes, it's very, very, very scary.
Yeah.
It's a very scary time we live in. And my sister literally fusses at me every night because I'm one of these people that think, oh, I'll just run to the store, I'll be fine. And this has changed my life without a question.
It's a good point. We just we can't do things the way that we normally have done things. And I'm getting text. I think all of us are getting texts from our friends here. And that's one thing that some people are saying, that you can't go anywhere, it seems. You can't go to school, you can't go to a church, you can't go to a store, you can't go to a mall.
You can't. It's frightening. And I mean, like, that parking lot is full. When I literally came out of the store, I had to park all the way at the very end, like you were actually leaving out of the Walmart whole facility. And
Wow.
of course, anyone that's seen that Walmart knows how large that parking lot is. And I could not find a space when I came in.
Now let's talk about that for a
That's how
minute.
crowded it was.
The way that parking lot is set up, you have the circle, which Sam's circle.
Yeah.
So it could be difficult if you need to get out of there quickly. That line is usually longer.
Oh, I promise you, you're not getting out quickly.
Yeah.
You're definitely not getting out of that parking lot quickly, because you have to remember, when you leave that parking lot, you have all those stores like the Chick-fil-A,
Right.
the Wendy's, there's a little corner mart, and other things
Terry,
right
we
there.
need to
So you're
interrupt,
not
but we
going
need
to
to
be
go
able to
back
cross
to
the street.
Chesapeake Police. We've got Leo Kaczynski speaking right now. Terry, thank you so much for your time. Let's listen in.
Thank you. And
and kind of went that motion. Several other officers, many other officers also responded. Parts of our members of our fire department responded. We did basically like a tactical entrance and movement in the building. We located multiple fatalities and multiple injured persons. A little while later, through the course of providing treatment, we were able to establish that we believe it's a single shooter, and that single shooter is deceased at this time. That's really all we have to go on. It's a very active scene. We're just a little over 2 hours past it happening. That's kind of where we are. So.
Can you tell us, was the shooter involved in an officer-involved shooting, or did the shooter?
I don't believe so, but I can't say that for sure. So that's still be part of the investigation. It's all, because it all happened very, very quickly, very dynamic. A lot of people involved, a lot of officers. Kind of where we are.
Any clarity as to the relationship? Was he, or were they an employee, or was it a customer?
Do not know at this point. We're getting a lot of information coming in, and we're kind of investigating all that. We're looking into the relationships and all that.
And is there, if not an exact number, of range as to how many fatalities, injuries we're talking about here?
I don't. I apologize. Sorry. I do not have a range. It's been just multiple fatalities and multiple injuries, and all the injured were transported to area hospitals.
Sorry, is the shooter a man, male and female?
Not at this time.
Any important information? Because I know the Family Reunification Center is set up. Any other information that families may be concerned?
Just that our Family Reunification Center is the Chesapeake Conference Center, and that's at 700 Conference Center Drive. So if you're looking to try to get a hold of a loved one that either worked here or might have been shopping here, that's where you should go. Is that 700 Conference Center Drive to try to locate your loved ones.
Any ideas of how many people were in the store when this was reported?
I don't. Obviously, it's a very large store. It's a super center. I mean, I don't know how many square feet. It's very, very large. I don't know how busy it was at the time. We're just a couple days away from Thanksgiving, so I don't know how much shopping. I don't know. We don't know how much shop. I don't know.
What's that been like for you all with police? Because Walmart's. These are big, square footage. What has that been like for you as far as investigating, canvassing the area, of course, responding directly on scene?
As far as the investigation, it's basically an all hands on deck type situation at this point. We have many of our investigators here, and we just, piece by piece. We just take a little bit of time. We have plenty of time right now. The store's closed, so we're going to investigate until we get everything complete.
Do you know how long?
Agencies here with y'all?
There are several outside agencies, but they're assisting with traffic. Virginia State Police is here, and I think I saw a Virginia Beach police car helping with just traffic control.
Do you know roughly how long it was between when the first officer arrived on the scene and when the tactical entrance was made?
I do not know that. Well, when the first officer arrived, they went in immediately, but I don't know when they started. I don't.
Leo, last time we talked, you said they were methodically clearing the store, department by department. They were still looking for possible fatalities and other victims as well. Tell us an update on that.
I believe that's still going on right now. As big a store as this is, there could be a lot of hiding places. If somebody was in there, they heard something, got scared, ran and hid. We're still kind of in the searching aspect of going through the store just to locate other potential victims or just people in hiding.
Did it seem like the shooter was shooting randomly, targeted?
I do not know. I can't say.
Do you know whether or not the shooting appeared to be contained to one part of the store at this point?
I do not know.
When can we expect to get an update on how many fatalities?
I don't know. I'm hoping sometime tomorrow, looking into that. It's still, like I said, we're just a couple hours past the initial incident, so it's very, very fluid, very new right now.
Right now, the next steps for your officers are what it was before.
Correct. We're still, still clearing until we're confident the entire building is clear and safe and secure, and then the criminal investigation part starts, and that could take days.
Obviously, we've seen mass shootings in our area before. Is there a comparison to what your officers are working this scene to others?
I couldn't make a comparison. I'm sorry.
How are you all feeling right now? Because gun violence, of course, mass shootings have been, reported on nationally. And of course, Hampton Roads is no stranger to what happened 3 years ago in Virginia Beach. What do you make of just what's been going on?
It's sad. We're a couple of days before the Thanksgiving holiday. Anytime that's sad, it's just a bad time all around. It's just for everybody involved. Especially the victims. This is horrible.
Have all shoppers been cleared out of the store?
Yeah, any shoppers, witnesses, they're all contained, will be interviewed by police. So I can do 2 more questions. Anybody? Anything else? Okay, good. All right. I don't know when we'll do another update. Maybe next couple hours or so. I don't really anticipate a whole lot more coming out in the overnight hours. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get something together and kind of go from there. So, all right.
Leo, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. If you guys want to get your.
All right, that's
I think
we have our mics with you. Yes. Okay. This is just getting an update there from Leo Kaczynski with Chesapeake Police Department. Very busy man tonight. Phone still ringing while he's trying to update the media on what happened there with this mass shooting at the Walmart Supercenter on Sam's Circle, which is off of North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. A huge store, a very, very busy area.
We originally were told in terms of a number, and these numbers do shift over the course of reporting, somewhere around 10, then less than 10. And what he just said right now is that he's not comfortable with a number, and that, of course, the shooter is dead. But Nicole, I'm sorry, you're getting some information about Norfolk General, correct?
That's right. We have reached out to Centera Norfolk General Hospital. They confirmed they are treating 5 patients from that shooting right now. No update at this time on their conditions, but we know Centera Norfolk General is a trauma center. And Evan mentioned Nightingale being, did you mention Nightingale? Somebody mentioned that Nightingale was there, or you saw
there,
it. So,
yes.
okay,
Yeah,
we're
it's
looking
there
at a picture.
Centera, yeah.
Okay, we're looking at a picture of it now. There's Nightingale. So usually, when they need to fly somebody to the hospital, and like we said, we are not far from Centera Norfolk General, so we usually will hear the helicopter above us as it's bringing patients to the hospital.
And they are level 1 trauma centers, so
Yeah.
we would assume perhaps, hopefully,
Yes, with the
that
shooting that they would get
they would
trauma
get the
patients.
trauma patients there.
And
But
it might have overwhelmed Chesapeake General too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
Chesapeake General is not as big, and your normal ER that's busy, with everything else that's going on.
It's nearby, but yes, it's not equipped as Centera Norfolk General. But Centera Norfolk General, again, that takes about 17 minutes to get. I used to always
Yeah.
time it out when I would come from Chesapeake to Norfolk. It didn't take so long to get to downtown Norfolk from that area where we work.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
One thing, like Leo pointed out, this is a huge Walmart.
Oh,
It's
gosh,
the
yeah.
super center. So it's got the grocery store, it's got the pharmacy, it has the, all the other, home goods and, everything else there. The garden center, I think it has a garden center there as well. So, and, when you think about these these big super box stores, there's no place really to go, other than,
Pretty open.
yeah, other than, duck behind a row or some shelves or something. So, and I imagine, again, that's always been one of the busiest Walmarts probably, in Chesapeake,
Yes.
certainly.
sure.
And we've heard, Terry talking about how that parking lot was just so crowded.
And she said the store was crowded. She was in there. We talked to her on the phone. She was in there, I would guess, around 9 o'clock. Because she said she saw the first responders heading to the store after she had left the store. But she said that there were probably 4 greeters. And we know the Walmart greeters. If you go in the store, a lot of them are retired folks. They take on this job, and probably during the holidays, you have more people working. She said the registers were busy. The store was packed. You could tell that it was busy, and people were shopping probably for their holiday plans, whether it was for meals or for gifts or a little bit of both.
And basically what she told us is, given how busy it would have been for the holiday, it was just a normal hustle and bustle inside the grocery store. A lot of busy people, a lot of probably stressed people, and but she didn't notice anything in the time that she was in the store that she felt was all that unusual, given the time of year and the time of day it was.
And back to the information from Leo Kaczynski with Chesapeake Police. There's no idea of the exact number of fatalities. Before, they were saying they think less than 10 people dead. We do know 5 people are being treated at Centera Norfolk General Hospital. Police do confirm that the suspected shooter is dead. There's no specification at this point if the shooter worked at the store. Angelique spoke to some people who said they were employees there, and the person was well known to them, but they did not say whether that person works at the store. This call came in after 10 o'clock tonight. Again, they do not want you near the scene. They want folks to go to the Chesapeake Conference Center, which is 700 Conference Center Drive. That's off of Greenbrier Parkway. They want you to go there. It's about 7 miles away from the Walmart store. If you're looking for a loved one, if you're trying to connect and get information, that's where the reunification center is. You see there on the map the distance between the store and where they are talking to people.
And they did say that Leo again said that they will be working through the night, of course, and well into the morning, and as they try and still figure out what they have. But it's you loosely add up the numbers here, and it all indications are it's a significant event.
I think when we use the word multiple, we're right about that. We're going to go back to Sarah Hammond, who's been on the scene there since shortly after this all unfolded. Sarah?
Like you guys heard, we just got an update from a spokesperson with Chesapeake Police. I'm going to give you guys kind of another rundown of what the updates are at this point. Y'all were asking earlier about other agencies assisting right now. The people, the first responders in this parking lot that are with the investigation right now are all from Chesapeake. They do have some Virginia State Police and Virginia Beach Police kind of on the perimeter helping with traffic at this point. Right now, they cannot confirm if the shooter was male or female or whether or not they were a Walmart employee or what their relationship was to, if at all, anyone or this Walmart in particular. They still believe it was just a single shooter. They have confirmed that shooter is now deceased. Clearly still a very active and fluid scene. They're telling us probably not a lot of updates coming anymore tonight. We still don't have an exact number of how many fatalities or injuries we have at this point. They're saying we likely won't know that until later on into Wednesday at this point. They do not believe it was an officer that shot the shooter, but would not confirm if it was self-inflicted or not when they found the shooter. Again, a lot of information coming in to the spokesperson from the police department. They're looking into the relationship between the shooter, again, if there is any, to this store, any other employees. All of the victims were transported to area hospitals, Nicole, like I think you said earlier. And again, this reunification center, that is huge. If you think you have a loved one, a family member, a friend who is shopping in this Walmart, like we said, we're really close to the holidays here. They don't know exactly how crowded it was in the store when the shots began to ring out, but the reunification center is at the Chesapeake Conference Center. So if you think you know someone who might have been here, or if someone's contacted you, that's where you need to go. Do not come to this Walmart. Again, they're asking for space to do their job. They're still sweeping inside this store. This Walmart is huge. On our way here, I was talking about, I've shopped at this Walmart. My photographer who's behind the camera, Neil, has shopped at this Walmart. So clearly it's a very popular, crowded Walmart. And again, we're close to the holidays. And again, they're not sure exactly how busy the store was at that time, but it's a very sad situation. They're, obviously saddened to have to investigate yet another mass shooting, not only just here in Hampton Roads, but in the country as a whole right now. But that's kind of what we know so far.
It really boils down to, and I think we've said this, if not on the air, certainly in the newsroom as we speak about these mass shootings over the last, let's call it 10 days, that there's somebody's family member, they're not going to have that person at the table with them on Thanksgiving. It's
an empty chair.
An empty chair.
Yeah. Sarah, I have a question for you. I know that you've moved since the last time we spoke with you, but it looks like there are fewer emergency vehicles behind you. Is that just the change of location, or has some of that moved out as this investigation seems to move to another stage?
I believe since we've moved over here, it does, you're right, David, it does look a little, I wouldn't say calmer, but it looks like there are slightly fewer first responders out here in the parking lot where we are. I think some have cleared out at this point, since, again, we do know at this point there is not an ongoing threat to the community.
That's what I was trying to get at, was given what Leo said to us from the Chesapeake Police Department, it seemed like they had reached a certain point with this where they really felt they had their arms around what they have there and where it will go through the night and into the morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sarah mentioned this as the police mentioned, that they are still clearing that store, and we don't know how long that's going to take. It is such a huge store. And like you said, Sarah, we may not have details. We may not have them in the next, couple hours. We probably won't, because you mentioned Wednesday, and I know he even said he'll try to provide an update. But this could take a while. Could be tomorrow that we'll get updated on this as they're searching for folks in the store.
Sarah, thank you.
Absolutely, and
stay by, stand by, and if you get any new information for us, please let us know. Okay. All right.
We did speak to my friend Terry earlier on the phone. She was at the store a little bit before this happened, and we recorded that. We could play some of that interview.
And I was counting the police cars. And at the count, before the light could turn green, it was 13 police cars, and I could see a fire truck coming. I got home because I lived less than 2 minutes from that Walmart, and I could just hear police cars just coming and coming and coming and coming. And there are no words. There are just no words. To see this unfold, to be a part of it, and to know that this crime occurred so close to me, and I was literally in that store, is terrifying. It was extremely crowded. All of the checkouts were extremely busy. They had most registers open. There are long lines at the self-checkouts. They had people at the front doors. Usually is 1 or 2 greeters. Tonight I saw probably around 4. A lot of people in the store. I literally parked way down the parking lot because you could not find spaces. It is a busy street, but I think by the time that the first car came past me, it was like, truthfully, if I don't say anything about Chesapeake police, I will say tonight they were on it. And I don't know what they do the rest of the time, but they were on the scene. Those police cars came so fast. I mean, literally within a minute, I was counting 13 fire trucks. I mean, they were coming from all areas. There was no traffic moving because so many police cars were coming so quickly. There's a Walmart, there's Dollar Tree there, there's the home store, there's a Fridays there on the corner, there's a little Shell station. It's a very busy area, and truthfully tonight there was not a lot of traffic on the main road of Battlefield because all the traffic literally was in the Walmart parking lot.
Friend Terry Brown.
Just out shopping like other people. She was trying to run some errands here on a Tuesday night, getting ready as we head into the Thanksgiving holiday, and saw all of the commotion with the first responders there heading on North Battlefield Boulevard towards the Walmart and Sam's Circle.
Yeah, given the size of what Chesapeake police are dealing with right now, we talk to police departments all the time, and Leo Kozinski has given us 2 updates tonight. And there's a lot he says he doesn't know, but that is very, very common in a story like this because they're still trying to figure out what they have. But he did give us an update, and we're going to play that again so that you get a better idea of where they are in their investigation, what they have on their hands.
Involved a lot of officers. Kind of where we are.
Any clarity as to the relationship? Was he, or were they an employee, or was it a customer?
Do not know at this point. We're getting a lot of information coming in, and we're kind of investigating all that. We're looking into the relationships and all that.
And is there, if not an exact number, of range as to how many fatalities, injuries we're talking about here?
I don't. I apologize. Sorry. I do not have a range. It's been just multiple fatalities and multiple injuries, and all the injured were transported to area hospitals.
Was the shooter a man, male or female?
Not at this time.
Any important information? Because I know the Family Reunification Center is set up. Any other information that families may be concerned?
Just that our Family Reunification Center is the Chesapeake Conference Center, and that's at 700 Conference Center Drive. So if you're looking to try to get a hold of a loved one that either worked here or might have been shopping here, that's where you should go, is that 700 Conference Center Drive to try to locate your loved ones.
Any ideas of how many people were in the store when this was reported?
I don't. Obviously, it's a very large store. It's a super center. I mean, I don't know how many square feet. It's very, very large. I don't know how busy it was at the time. We're just a couple days away from Thanksgiving, so I don't know how much shopping. I don't know. We don't know how much shop. I don't know.
What's that been like for you all with police? Because Walmart's. These are big, square footage. What has that been like for you as far as investigating, canvassing the area, of course, responding directly on scene?
Well, as far as the investigation, it's basically an all hands on deck type situation at this point. We have many of our investigators here, and we just, piece by piece, we just take a little bit of time. We have plenty of time right now. The store's closed, so we're going to investigate until we get everything complete.
Do you know how long agencies here with y'all?
There are several outside agencies, but they're assisting with traffic. Virginia State Police is here. And I think I saw a Virginia Beach police car helping with just traffic traffic control.
Do you know roughly how long it was between when the first officer arrived on the scene and when the tactical entrance was made?
I do not know that. Well, when the first officer arrived, they went in immediately, but I don't know when they started. I don't.
Leo, last time we talked, you said they were methodically clearing the store, department by department. They were still looking for possible fatalities and other victims as well. Tell us an update on that.
I believe that's still going on right now. As big a store as this is, there could be a lot of hiding places. If somebody was in there, they heard something, got scared, ran and hid. We're still kind of in the searching aspect of going through the store just to locate other potential victims or just people in hiding.
And it seemed like the shooter was shooting randomly, targeted.
I do not know. I can't say.
Do you know whether or not the shooting was appeared to be contained to one part of the store at this point?
I do not know.
When can we expect to get an update on how many fatalities?
I don't know. I'm hoping sometime tomorrow, looking into that. It's still, like I said, we're just a couple hours past the initial incident, so it's very, very fluid, very new right now.
Right now, the next steps for your officers are what it was before.
Correct. We're still, still clearing until we're confident the entire building is clear and safe and secure, and then the criminal investigation part starts, and that could take days.
Obviously, we've seen mass shootings in our area before. Is there a comparison to what your officers are working this scene to others?
I couldn't make a comparison. I'm sorry.
How are you all feeling right now? Because gun violence, of course, mass shootings have been, reported on nationally. And of course, Hampton Roads is no stranger to what happened 3 years ago in Virginia Beach. What do you make of just what's been going on?
It's sad. We're a couple of days before the Thanksgiving holiday. Anytime that's sad, it's just a bad time all around. It's just for everybody involved. Especially the victims. This is horrible.
Have all shoppers been cleared out of the store?
Yeah, any shoppers, witnesses, they're all contained, will be interviewed by police. So I can do 2 more questions. Anybody? Anything else? Anybody? Good. All right. I don't know when we'll do another update. Maybe the next couple hours or so. I don't really anticipate a whole lot more coming out in the overnight hours. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get something together and kind of go from there. So, all right.
Leo, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. If you guys want to.
All right, that was Leo Kaczynski, the Chesapeake Police Department's public information officer. That was recorded just a little while ago, but we wanted to play that again in case you just joined us. It is now just a little after 1 o'clock, and Nicole, let's bring everybody, let's sort of reset all this and bring everybody up to date on how this played out.
Yes, we've been gathering information since this call came in for this mass shooting at the Walmart Supercenter on Sam Circle off of North Battlefield Boulevard. Call came in just after 10 o'clock tonight. Police say multiple people killed, multiple people injured. They can't tell us a number yet. They can't specify the number of fatalities. They do believe it's less than 10 people. They did say during one of these updates that they have provided us. No specification if the shooter worked there at the store. They are not saying at this time, or if it was a man or a woman. They did confirm that the shooter, the suspected shooter, is dead. They are asking families, folks who are concerned about loved ones who may have been shopping or working at the store and they're unaccounted for, to go to the Chesapeake Conference Center. That's on Conference Center Drive off of Greenbrier Parkway, about 7 miles away from the store. They don't want anybody to go towards that store right now. It is a very active scene still. All hands are on deck with Chesapeake Police and first responders. They are getting some assistance from Virginia State Police and Virginia Beach, helping mostly with traffic control around there. And they are still looking for folks in the store. They are sweeping the store now. It's a big, big store, superstore, with a grocery and other things. It's so it could be before tomorrow before we know. Could be later than that. Centera Norfolk General Hospital has confirmed that they have 5 patients there that they are treating. They don't have updates on those patients' conditions right now. That's as of 12:44 when we talked to them about a half hour ago. Again, still sweeping the store there, and we could possibly have another update from police in a few hours. We have Evan Stewart was out here talking just because he's from Chesapeake, and we've lived not far from that area, and we've shopped there. Just to put it in perspective, first of all, Chesapeake is a huge city, so when you're talking about the response, it really borders Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Suffolk, Portsmouth.
Yeah, and 2 North Carolina counties. And, you know, looking at some of the scanner traffic, you know, that it was all hands on deck, you know, all medics,
Sure.
everybody report to this area. And, you know, one thing that's great is in this area is we have the mutual aid. So, you know, while the medics here in Chesapeake are at this location, you know, other cities will help out in case there are other emergencies. And I think that's something that says a lot about the cooperation of all the communities with the mutual aid with neighboring cities.
Thank goodness when you have
Yeah.
something like this big happen. Of course, there's going to be something else, a medical emergency, or maybe you know, other crimes happening at the same time.
Yeah, you mentioned we talked with Terry Brown, a friend of yours, a little while ago. She was in the store about an hour, let's say, before that all happened. She said it was very crowded, as you would expect, for a couple days before Thanksgiving, but nothing really out of the ordinary, other than people just a little bit stressed, perhaps getting ready for Thanksgiving and doing their shopping. But again, it's a superstore, so it was crowded, and that's a lot of people. And again, the number has, and that happens in stores like this. The number kind of moves and shifts and whatnot. So we might not have clarity on that for a while. Let's bring Sarah Hammond back in. I'm sorry, Angelique Arontak, who's also at the Walmart gathering information for us. Angelique, do we know anything else from your perspective?
So we got a little bit of perspective here from a man who was just inside the store at 9:50 p.m. So that's approximately the time he left. I just spoke with him moments ago. So he recounts walking away from the store, and then after 10 p.m., he heard those gunshots pretty muffled from the vantage point he was at over at the gas station over here. But he heard those shots ring out through the parking lot, and he could hear it. He heard it, he says, in rapid succession. And, you know, all he could do was really think about, what if he had chosen to stay? He said that he had gone there just for toothpaste, but what if he had wanted to check out the electronics section? What if he had chosen to bring his kids with there? So all those questions are emerging right now, but you know, all he could really say was that he is extending thoughts and prayers to the victims' families at this time. The man who was inside the store just right before that shooting says this is a senseless act. Someone, he says he lives here in Chesapeake, but staying at a hotel just across the street right now. And he just recounts hearing those shots. Following those gunshots, he saw the aftermath of the people rushing out of the store and just the screams echoing through the parking lot right after the gunman opened fire. We, of course, know from officials that the sole suspected shooter in this case is dead. Police say there are multiple fatalities plus injuries. We also heard from a spokesperson with Sentara Health tonight that there are 5 patients at Sentara Norfolk General Hospital receiving treatment. How exactly they are doing is unknown at this time. Back here in Chesapeake, we are at another end of the shopping center, a little bit closer to Sam's, where we are seeing some kind of stragglers over here, some employees who understandably did not want to talk to me or talk to me very briefly, but I do want to recall a conversation.
Apparently, we have a little bit of a problem with Angelique's microphone. We will get that fixed. Just went in for toothpaste. How many people just went in for
Absolutely,
rolls or
right?
milk or bread?
I'm
for
just
a
going to run
child or
in to the
something,
store. Like Terry said, you know, sometimes you just say, I'm just going to run in, and you just don't know. You
Yeah.
don't know.
Angelique, we understand we've got your microphone again. Go ahead.
Hey, sorry about that. So as I was talking about, I want to recall a conversation that I had with a set of employees who were just trying to drive out of this shopping center. I spoke with them briefly while they sat in their car, and they recount to me having to hide inside the bathroom at the Walmart. I don't know where in relation that bathroom is in the store, if it's in the back, if it's in the front, but all they could tell me was that at that moment, what they could do was hide. They heard the suspected shooter opening fire. They heard those gunshots just after 10 o'clock. And, I'm seeing also comments on my social media saying this is a time when families are supposed to be shopping for Thanksgiving meals. This is supposed to be a relatively not super busy, not rush hour time, but there are patrons, there are customers inside that store at that hour. The employees also tell me that they knew the shooter very, very well, and that's all they could tell me at that time. They also worry that they know some of the people among the dead.
Angelique, you mentioned talking to the gentleman who had been in the store just a little bit before the shots rang out, or he was at the gas station and heard the shots. And did he talk about seeing people running from the building, running from the store?
Yes. So the man recounts first hearing that rapid succession of gunfire.
Okay.
He said it was kind of odd because he said it was muffled, loud, muffled, low. It was just kind of a varying volume there, but he heard it in rapid succession. He says he heard about 12 gunshots. And then next thing he knew, people just trying to file out of the store, out of one of the exits there. And he tells me that what was so notable to him is because he's standing at the gas station right over there, right across from Walmart. And he said that all he heard was just screams echoing through that Walmart parking lot and extending all the way to the gas station he stood at.
Wow.
The trauma. I mean, you can't let that go. That's something that,
Yeah.
it plays over again in your mind.
Yeah.
And,
Always will, probably.
mhm.
Yeah.
And again, what a time to have this happen. This is, when folks are heading home to reunite with their families for the holiday, and some probably haven't seen their families in a couple of years because we've had the pandemic and shutdowns and people not traveling and all that. So
he just needed toothpaste.
mm-hmm.
Let's go back to Sarah Hammond, bring her back into the conversation. She arrived at the scene just a little while after that call came in at about 10:12 tonight. And she's been involved in a couple of conversations with Leo Kaczynski from the Chesapeake Police Department. Sarah, are you there?
Yes, guys, I'm here. Since I last talked to you about 15 minutes ago, since we got our last update from Officer Leo Kaczynski, I've learned now that the FBI is now assisting in the investigation, and we are not expecting to get any more updates until around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. But the next update we will get, they say, will be the number of fatalities and injuries from inside the store during this shooting. So that should be the next update we get, again, around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. We could be hearing from some city leaders at that point. I believe they're all kind of coming together at this point to reconvene and communicate about what everybody knows so far. Again, the FBI is here assisting now, and I'm going to kind of step out of the way again so you guys can see how the scene has kind of evolved since we first got here. Again, we started out across the street here. We've now moved over into the Walmart parking lot. It's a huge parking lot, like we've been saying. Still just tons of first responders, lots of flashing lights still out here, but there are fewer vehicles out here than there were when we arrived around 11 o'clock. So some have cleared out, which again indicates that there is not an ongoing threat now. And we, again, do know that the shooter is dead. We're not entirely, will not confirm exactly how the shooter died, but they are calling this an all hands on deck situation. Again, multiple fatalities and injuries. We don't have that number yet. We should be getting that around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. There are other agencies helping out with traffic at this point, VSP, Virginia Beach Police. And as for the shooter, so far they cannot confirm if it's a male or a female, whether or not they were a Walmart employee, and they're not sure what the relationship, if any, was to Walmart. But again, very fluid situation. They're still inside, they say, sweeping the store to kind of see if there are any other people inside. Leo Kaczynski said, when the shots rang out, people could have been scared and went to run and hide. They weren't sure what to do. It's a huge store. There's a lot of nooks and crannies to hide in. So they're still making sure there aren't any people still in there. But to their knowledge, as they're continuing to sweep, they say all the shoppers they've been able to find have been evacuated from the store. At this point, again, like we keep saying, this parking lot is just entirely closed off to the public. You cannot come in here. And again, if you think someone you know and love was shopping here tonight, again, we keep saying, it's around the holiday season. A lot of people are out doing last minute shopping. Employees are here restocking for more people to come in and shop tomorrow. But if you think you know someone who might have been in here, go to the Chesapeake Conference Center. That's the reunification center where they're directing people to reunite with loved ones. Again, do not come here to this Walmart. They are trying to give themselves as much space as possible to continue this investigation, to continue sweeping the area, again, to make sure everyone is out and there are no other victims inside the Walmart at this point.
Well, Sarah, I know that you have talked with Leo twice, Leo Kaczynski of the Chesapeake Police Department, since early on and then just recently. And you asked him a lot of questions, as did other reporters, and he mentioned nowhere of talking with anyone from management in the store. Is that correct?
Correct. He did not mention anything about that, but they said as shoppers were leaving, they were screening and kind of questioning them about what they knew at that point, but no mention of any management at this point.
Okay. All right.
Why don't we go back to the most recent interview with Leo Kaczynski with the Chesapeake Police Department, if we have that.
Involved a lot of officers.
Any clarity as to the relationship? Was he, or were they an employee, or was it a customer?
Do not know at this point. We're getting a lot of information coming in, and we're kind of investigating all that. We're looking into the relationships and all that.
And is there, if not an exact number, of range as to how many fatalities, injuries we're talking about here?
I don't. I apologize. Sorry. I do not have a range. It's been just multiple fatalities and multiple injuries, and all the injured were transported to area hospitals.
Sorry, is the shooter a man, male or female?
Not at this time.
Any important information? Because I know the Family Reunification Center is set up. Any other information that families may be concerned?
Just that our Family Reunification Center is the Chesapeake Conference Center, and that's at 700 Conference Center Drive. So if you're looking to try to get a hold of a loved one that either worked here or might have been shopping here, that's where you should go, is that 700 Conference Center Drive, to try to locate your loved ones.
Any ideas of how many people were in the store when this was reported?
I don't. Obviously, it's a very large store. It's a super center. I mean, I don't know how many square feet. It's very, very large. I don't know how busy it was at the time. We're just a couple days away from Thanksgiving, so I don't know how much shopping. I don't know. We don't know how much shop. I don't know.
What's that been like for you all with police? Because I mean, Walmart's. I mean, these are big, square footage. I mean, what has that been like for you as far as investigating, canvassing the area, of course, responding directly on scene?
Well, as far as the investigation, I mean, it's an all hands on deck type situation at this point. We have many of our investigators here, and we just, piece by piece, we just take a little bit of time. We have plenty of time right now. The store's closed, so we're going to investigate until we get everything complete.
Do you know how long agencies here as well?
There are several outside agencies, but they're assisting with traffic. Virginia State Police is here, and I think I saw a Virginia Beach police car helping with just traffic control.
Do you know roughly how long it was between when the first officer arrived on the scene and when the tactical entrance was made?
I do not know that. Well, when the first officer arrived, they went in immediately, but I don't know when they started. I don't.
Leo, last time we talked, you said they were methodically clearing the store. Department by department, they were still looking for possible fatalities and other victims as well. Tell us an update on that.
I believe that's still going on right now. As big a store as this is, there could be a lot of hiding places. If somebody was in there, they heard something, got scared, ran and hid. We're still kind of in the searching aspect of going through the store just to locate other potential victims or just people in hiding.
And it seemed like the shooter was shooting randomly, targeted.
I do not know. I can't say.
Do you know whether or not the shooting appeared to be contained to one part of the store at this point?
I do not know.
When can we expect to get an update on how many fatalities?
I don't know. I'm hoping sometime tomorrow looking into that. it's still, like I said, we're just a couple hours past the initial incident, so it's very fluid, very new right now.
Right now, the next steps for your officers are what it was before.
Correct. We're still, yep,
Clearing the store.
still clearing until we're confident the entire building is clear and safe and secure, and then the criminal investigation part starts, and that could take days.
Obviously, we've seen mass shootings in our area before. Is there a comparison to what your officers are working this scene to others?
I couldn't make a comparison. I'm sorry.
How are you all feeling right now? Because I mean, gun violence, of course, mass shootings have been, reported on nationally. I mean, and of course, Hampton Roads is no stranger to what happened 3 years ago in Virginia Beach. I mean, what do you make of just what's been going on?
I mean, it's sad. We're a couple of days before the Thanksgiving holiday. I mean, anytime that's sad, I mean, it's just a bad time all around. It's just for everybody involved. Especially the victims. Like this is horrible.
Have all shoppers been cleared out of the store?
Yeah, any shoppers, witnesses, they're all contained. Will be interviewed by police. So, I can do 2 more questions. Anybody? Anything else? Anything? Good. All right. I don't know when we'll do another update. Maybe next couple hours or so. I don't really anticipate a whole lot more coming out in the overnight hours. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get something together and kind of go from there. So, all right.
Leo, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you. You guys.
Long night already. It's 1:23 in the morning here, and this the call for the shooting came in just after 10 o'clock.
I forgot I was muted. Thanks for coming in, everyone. You guys have a very good night, and keep all the victims and families in this area in your prayers. Thank you. And again, have a great night.